Hi there, monsters and men, ladies and people, and welcome to another piece of an upcoming or recently released video game. The downloadable demo of today is Displaced. Displaced is a action-adventure strategy game developed by Gameski. Yeah, I think I pronounced that correctly. And in Displaced, your mission is to lead a group of civilians out of the war-torn country. Yes, indeed. Before I even read the Steam page, I thought, oh man, another zombie thingies, but there are no zombies here, so that was a surprise for me. So let's first start with the options menu. We go to settings, there we have sound, music, resolutions and language, and that's basically all you need. This game has card-based combat, which, yeah, they are cards, but it's debatable, and for the rest of it you look at a map. And you're just a sort of token that you move on the map. So it runs on every PC. It will run on every PC. You got your sound, music slider, resolution options, and your language, which English and something I do not know, but I think it's Polish. Because it starts with a P and it looks like something from East Europe. Am I correct in that? I don't know. So let's start the game and see what this game is all about. New game. So you got a little story here, I won't spoil that for you. But as soon as you start the game, you can choose your characters here. You have to assemble a group of 5 survivors. Well, in the demo you only have 5. But as you can see, you can unlock more in full game. So we will, I would say we will add this guy. Well, we will add Adam. But as you can see, Adam has a specialty here. And that means he's a fighter. He has a higher chance for critical damage in close combat. So each character that you can choose here, like this one, Adel, buyer, low price on goods, has some special effect. And that's and in that way you have to assemble your team carefully, and probably each character of these have a different kind of effect on them. This one, for example, Max, is alcoholic, able to become stressed. I don't know, it's not a good thing, but as you can see here, he is skilled at first aid and a great shot, so he's very good with guns. This one is a chef. She hasn't a lot of firepower, but she's good at defense and she's a good cook, and she will lower consumption for cooking, etc, etc, etc. So before every start of a map or a game, you have to assemble your team very carefully and check what kind of effects you want in your team, like low consumption for cooking can be handy. So we will just add these 5. You really need 5, otherwise you can't start the game. And then we press survive. We will start surviving. Do I want to skip the tutorial? Yes, I'm your tutorial. So yes, I want to skip it. And when you start the game, you wait. Something happens? Yes, you need to pick a goal. And in this map, and I assume each map has different goals, is you leave the country by port, by airport, or by immigration center. And each of these goals, for each of these goals you have to do different things. Like for the port you have to get, I can't remember. Oh, you need to have money so you can buy tickets for the boat and leave the country. For the airport you have to get fuel because you're going to steal a plane, because somehow some of them can fly a plane, apparently. And for the immigration center you need to have your immigration papers that you are able to leave the country, and you can get that from various people. And I think I've never done the airport before, so let's start with the airport for now. So you start here at Clinton. This is the city that is collapsing, and as you can see here, I need to find 5 canisters of fuel and get to the airport. Where is the airport? You'd say, well, you just click on it and it's there. And you have to get there, and it's all cloudy, you don't know how to get there. And I need to find 5 canisters of fuel, and you can do that by doing quests. So you got your inventory here with all the basic stuff. There are antidepressants, which bring down your stress amount, because your characters will get stressed as long as you move. If you keep moving, they will get stressed, and then stuff will happen, like they will fight each other, they will leave, stuff like that. So here's your food, which is, this is chips and has 1 calorie, but this is fish and has 5 calories. So this is the amount of food you will get from it. And these are just expensive watches which you can sell, and also which you can sell for money, and you can buy stuff with it. And these icons over here are the weapons your character currently has. So Adam only has his fist, and all of them except for Max. He has a gun because he was skilled in guns. So that out of the way, that was the inventory. Then you got your food, which is your food bar here. This will drain over time and people will get hungry and you have to feed them with the food you have here. And of course you will find more food as long as you go along. And then we have the medical supplies. I have only 1 bandages here, which will heal some amount, not a lot. And that's the way and with this you can heal your characters, because on your way you will find encounters like bandit groups or whatever you can think of it in an apocalyptic world. And so with bandages, medkits, you can heal your characters, and if you don't do that they will simply die and you got 1 less to take care of, which can be a tactic. Just let them all die and you only have 1 people left. But if you then encounter a group or something that can screw you over, you're done. So it's a choice you have to make. You have to make choices in this game how to survive. So at first, what we can do, we have this little tab over here with the tent. We can rest, which will pull up my energy meter here. This is my energy bar, which will drain over time if you move across the map and fight, and it will release some stress. And this is your stress meter, these 5 here. We can cook, just cook for the whole party, and then everyone will get fed. And as you can see, I need 10 calories to feed them all, and I have 12 now. We can hunt for items. That means you just stay at your place and you will scavenge the area for items and you may find things. Oh, we can do that now. So we hunt. What do we find? We find some veggies, a medkit actually, and some berries. So we can take that out of my inventory and done. And the other thing which is important, you can explore. And for exploring you need energy. So as you can see, it took some energy here. So that explained, our goal is to find 5 canisters of fuel. And probably when someone dies or leaves for some reason, we only need 4 canisters of fuel. So how do we get them? Well, these question marks on the map are objectives. People. You don't know what they are. You don't know what you will encounter. So if you move to 1, so we move sidewards here, just double click and there comes a little chest and you have objects and you find an abandoned camp with thousands of people, blah blah blah. We can leave the camp and there are some supplies in the camp, which is nice, more food for me. So we've got this one. As you can see, we have moved now and my food meter has come down, so you have to keep that in mind. This is Remix, this is where it all started, this is where hell broke loose, and eventually you will see a red area starting to form, which I think is the danger zone and you don't want to be in there. So you have to avoid that. So let's go to this one, more to the dark. And what you will notice is you will move slower in the forest, and you will move slower when you go into fog of war. So this is also an object, another abandoned camp. Come on! Leave the camp. Oh, a lot of food and bandages. I can use that. So let's explore. What's there more? Let's go to this one. I never went to this side actually. So what you will encounter, what I hope we will encounter. So this is grocery. You find an apartment building with some man. He wants you to go for dinner. You can agree to dinner or drink as activation, but choose to drink the wine or turn him down. Well, by experience, I know this is a cannibal, and if you agree to drink dinner, well, we can just do it, whatever. And if you agree to dinner and drink, oh, you wake up completely somewhere else because you were drunk and someone is gone. Because you probably murdered and ate him, and we only need 4 canisters of fuel, so that's nice. And my energy meter is way down now. No, we don't stay. I don't want to go back actually. So what we have to do now is rest again. And that will take time. And the days will move on and you will see groups moving towards you. So that's done. Let's explore the place. So this is a pass. And this question mark here is a quest. And normally at quests, what I've encountered is at quest you will get the items you need to proceed to the other countries. So for example, now canisters of fuel. But first we will look at this place. So this game evolves around your decision making. And do you take the risk? Do you not take the risk? Do you fight? Do you not fight? You have to survive with your party. So let's take the quest. So the journalists in the minivan and they want something from me. Well, what they want is some action to film. No, we can't risk it. I don't want to take them, so we just leave them there. And again, as you can see, we need food, so we need to cook. That goes pretty fast. Your food meter goes pretty fast. So let's go to the quest, because that will get me some canister of fuel or whatever. Ooh, you see in the window the local airport, you see. So, blow up local airport, then you hear a shot. Judging by the crash, one of the cars lost his nerve after seeing your team approach. Hands up or shoot him back? What should we do? Hands up. Okay. Buy 1 canister, 6 units of food. We can do that, I think, so now we have 1 gas. So we got 1 canister already. And if I had 12, I could have 2. Then we were already halfway, but I didn't have that. And this one, this is a group. If you now explore, for example, you can see these are a group of pawns. Group red light. Don't know exactly what that means, but we can encounter him. So right now, as you can see here, we have encountered the party and they have hiking gear and guns. Well, you can greet them, and that will, what I've experienced, always result in a fight. You can hide and avoid them, then you have a chance that they will pass along or that you will fight, or you can just barely attack them. So let's try hide and avoid them. You hide. Normally, I would say normally with this amount of people, it's not avoidable to fight, but apparently it is, but they're still in front of me. So if I go this way again, I have to face them again. So we go to the question mark here. I don't want to fight the other group. Continue. As you can see, my stress is going up and I'm out of energy, so I'm moving slower. And there's an object, and there is a car which has some goods. Not a lot, and I'm pretty down on food because I took the canister. See, I don't have enough. I don't have any food now to feed my people, which is crap because I traded it for a gas canister. Oh crap! Sorry. So those are the choices you have to make. Now I did a round before and everything did go pretty smoothly. What I've experienced so far is that as long as you have enough food, you will get along. That might be a problem, but we have the restaurant now, and that might be a problem in my opinion, because that round did go pretty easy because I had enough food. I could keep feeding my people. Now I can't. I don't know if there's any downside on not having enough food. I did not experience one so far, but I assume there is. And now, for example, you encounter lightning and hurricanes. What are you going to do? Move on or set up camp? Well, we just set up camp. Okay, I don't know. Well, let's move on. Let's see what happens. I'm soaked to the bone. And it means I lose health because of the thunder. And as you can see here, also the red zone is going further. And you don't want to be in the red zone. No, that's dangerous. So we don't have any foods. I hope I can find some here. This is trade. So there are also merchants here. I can buy goods. I want to buy them all because I need the food. Buy, and you got plenty of money, in my opinion. From the start, you get $1,000. You can manage with that. It's a shitload of food. It's a shitload of money to buy food from the merchants, and I think it should be less, in my opinion. Now I can cook and I can steal my hunger, but I think the money should be less because $1,000 is really high, and food isn't that expensive at merchants, and you can just buy food, keep buying food, and keep surviving. So it should be less, and we have another quest here, and so we can do that. And we just go to this question mark first, because we have to explore and see what happens. And here are other merchants, as you can see, trade, buy goods. Oh, another med kit. It's always nice to have. And the med kit is only 25. 25 of 1,000, it's not a lot. And what you can do is, well, what I did last round, and I don't know if that's the way to go, I just ditched my people and continued. For example, I needed, I had 3 immigration cards, I had 4 people. I just made sure that one of them died and I could go to the end. And I don't know if there's a downside in doing that. Because when I ended the level, it was just say, thank you for playing the demo, and that's it. So I don't know. There are some things that make me doubt. I think it can be quite an interesting game. And this sometimes happens and it doesn't really do anything in my opinion. They just talk because the stress meter is going really high, as you can see here. Ooh. The locals tell you about the elderly pilot who used farms. You go to him and... Oh, okay, that's free. Done. Thank you, man. See? Easy peasy. And I don't have energy and I don't have food. I need to get a lot of stress. I think when people get a lot of stress, you will get those dialogues, but they don't really do anything. Eventually, people will just leave your group, but that's it. Ooh, he's gonna follow him. I will come back to my complaint. So this is the fighting. As you see, here's an enemy. I haven't showed the fighting yet. This is an enemy. As you see here, it's got 143 health. And what you have to do, well, at least what I think you have to do, because this is not explained anywhere, which is a huge complaint I have about the game. I don't know how the fighting works, but I think what you have to do, here you see the strength of all the characters, is to match the bars here. So for example, to fill this role you need at least 3 bars of this to be effective and 2 defense. I think this is, and you can switch between brute force to gain more attack power. You can go in stealth to gain more agility, or you can hide and gain more defense. And this is how I think the combat works. So for example, we go in stealth here. We get an extra stealth thingy, so we match these bars. Here with Adel, she goes, for example, here, put her in stealth, and we will match the bars here. Joel, which is brute forcing, no, go in stealth, we match the bars here, and Mark, brute force to match the bars here, and fight. Well, the fighting is just card based, as I said before. This is how it works. You just see numbers popping up, but you can also skip it, which I usually do. Just skip it, it's not interesting at all. And this is the results. We can take all the stuff, as you can see here, and done. And with this, we can then again feed my people, and we're done. That's how the fighting works. So I think as long as you match the bars properly, I won every fight by doing that. You can have also stronger weapons. For example, you can have a rifle or more guns to equip to your people, but I don't know about the fighting. It's confusing because it's never explained, not in the tutorial at all. And if I'm right, it's pretty easy, to my opinion. And another fight, of course. So again, you put the guys in the same position. That's also a thing. I put them all in the same position as I had them before. Joel here, and Max, you go over here. You fight, you skip, and everything is fine. Yes, we won again. It's so repetitive, it's boring. Because you just put them all in the same position each time, and that's it. You're done fighting and you win. You will win. So now this one doesn't have any health, so we heal him up, and we can heal him up. Why not? And that's it. And again, what I want to say, the major complaint I have about this game is that everything is, well, repetitive. Each encounter that you find happens quite a lot of times in the game, like the abandoned car, like it's always the same group of people you encounter to fight with. Each time the same scenarios, and I would like them more randomly. I know that can be quite difficult, but I assume they want you to replay each map to go to do the different goals with different characters. And it's just, well, in my opinion, not worth doing it, because the same events happen each time. Your quests are different because you have a different objective. But apart from the quest, everything is the same. Same encounters, and the encounters happen more than once at one map, and so on and so on. And that's my major complaint about this game, and I hope in the full game it's better, but it doesn't add. But I see that as a huge pitfall, let's sort of say. I hope they will. I hope they can fix it somehow, but it's difficult. I can imagine it's difficult, but it does not add to the replayability, and I think that is what the developers are aiming for, that people will replay the maps. That will not happen now. Trust me, that will not happen now. So I think that is the major complaint I had about this game, and I think I have... oh, an old merchant. Take the money and bring it to his friend, yes. I think the dialogues are written properly. I think they're quite interesting. I hope they do not happen at different maps also. That you have the same dialogue at different maps, because that would be really boring in my opinion. I want a different experience on each map, and preferably a different experience if I play the same map. So to say that, I think we have to wrap it up now. Yeah, I think those are the major complaints I have about this game, and I have shown you it. I like it, but for one play session. If I do one play session, it's fine. After 2, I did 2, that was okay, but the third one, it gets too repetitive. The replayability is not... It's not good, in my opinion. Well guys, this was it. Thank you a lot for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you do, feel free to press the like button, and if you do not, the other one is right next to it. Feel free to subscribe for more first impressions of demos and full games, of course. And for now, as always, my name is OneOnlyUrl, and what I want to say, for now as always, to be continued.